It's me again. I'm sorry. Maybe you got the wrong channel or the wrong place. But I'm Matthew Lesko. I'm going to show you how to get free money and help to do almost anything you want in life. I mean, that's what we're here for. I mean, I really believe that there's stuff out there for you to do what you really want to do in life, and you can get it for free. You know, everybody's out charging you thousands or tens of thousands of dollars for stuff. You know, and somebody says, I can't do that because I don't have a lot of money. Well, now you can. Pay attention to this show. And today we have some great people. Actually, one, if they ever show up, I'm a little worried about. But let me show you the first slide. Number 2, this is Dominique Broadway. Now, she's an interesting woman that was supposed to be here, but she's not here yet. So we'll see if she makes it. But at 12, she was the vice president of a vending machine company. At 15, she was the CEO of a computer learning company. Then she graduated from college and went to work for a brokerage firm, you know, and then chucked that out. Chucked it all after a couple of years and started her own financial planning. So we want to find out from her, how did she get over those hurdles to go out and do what she want to do? And the other, one of the other guests we have live, not fresh frozen like on the phone or something, but no, live in the studios, right in the back, is Ryan Lane. Now, he's been a successful lawyer, you know, and he had a life-changing experience that we'll talk to you about. And here, look at the screen. This is what he does now. Yeah. he turned himself into an inventor of the yoga mat. This is a mat for exercising in yoga. And he's an entrepreneur and raised $20,000 in 20 days on the web. So he's going to tell us about that, how he did that, and what are the problems of that. And what's neat about him is that he failed first. You know? So he's going to tell us how he got over that failure and went out and got the 20 grand. The first time he didn't do it. And Shane's on the line. We're going to talk to him a little later. And he's going to tell you how to start a nonprofit without having to hire a lawyer. There's no need to hire an attorney and spend thousands of dollars or whatever they charge now, you know, for you to, you know, become a 501c3 or whatever you want to do. And he's going to talk about that. He'd be on the phone. And the other thing we're going to talk about, you know, I hope there's time. There's got to be time because I want to talk about this. I just found there's 99,541 people that could call the government now and get $1,547 each. The government's sitting on it. It's like over $150 million. The government doesn't need it. So don't be dumb. Hang around. Find out who you're going to call. You know, to see if you're one of those 100,000 people to do that. Well, the first I want to talk about is there's something going on. Yeah, you come back to me. Thank you. Thank you. There's something going on in our country now. Another financial problem, I think, that maybe have a bubble and maybe it's going to burst someday, but it's a big growth and it's going to cause a lot of people a lot of heartache, I think, before this settles up. So run this video and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Hi, I'm Fred Thompson. And you know, if you're like a lot of folks out there lately, then finances might be a little tight. Well, maybe it doesn't have to be that way. Because if you're 62 years or older and own your own home, then join hundreds of thousands of other Americans who have used a reverse mortgage as a safe, effective financial tool. A government-insured reverse mortgage allows seniors to stay in their own home and to turn their equity into tax-free cash without any monthly mortgage payments. You ought to call my friends at AAG. They could help you or your parents right now. And to find out more is absolutely free.
Call 1-800-848-7173 now to receive your free DVD and brochure with no obligation.
Find out how much cash you may qualify for. Call AAG today.
Call 1-800-848-7173 now to get your free Better Life information pack and DVD. That's 1-800-848-7173.
AAG.
No, you don't want to call.
Advice for a better life.
Don't call that number, whatever you do. That's a complicated product. You know, it's going to sound great. Sure, I'm old, and you know, I got all this money in the house, and I get the money before I die, and everything. Now, it's not as simple as that. And show the next slide. I'll show you what's coming up on this thing. It's called a reverse mortgage. And it's going to be one of those, in my mind. See, this is what's happening in the demographics. This is the people over 60 years old in our population. It's going to double in the next 20 or 30 years. So, and these are the people, the elderly, that are eligible for this new mortgage, called reverse mortgage. But beware of this thing, man. You could lose your home. You could lose so much money. It's expensive money. Look, I mean, here's some news items of people lost their money. Here's another news item. If you go Google this thing, about reverse mortgage, you'll see all the problems. So if your parents, your grandparents, or yourself, if you're a senior now, thinking about it, these are people lost the house because of the fine print. The same thing. Anytime the financial industry gets involved in something, you really have to be careful. They're advertising on TV. That means they're appealing to something else than your intelligence, and that you're going to get suckered into one of these things. And here's another thing with this thing. Okay, leave this slide up because we'll get to that soon. But here's another problem with these, is that the government guarantees it. So when the government guarantees it, that means there's no risk for the bank, and that they're selling you money. So it's a way for them to sell money. They're going to sell you money in reverse. So whether it's your mother or father or something, they're thinking about one of these reverse mortgages. Get a lot of information before you do any of these bloody things, because it may not be worth it. There's an outside chance it may be for you, but it's likely not. Now let's go back to the other slide first. Okay, Tony. Yeah, leave that one up for a while. Because this is what you have to know. I mean, see, of those that are out there now, almost 10% are at risk of foreclosure. And the normal rate for foreclosure is like 1% on mortgages. So remember, these people are selling you money. And it sounds sweet, because you get the money up front, you don't have to worry about it, but it is a very complicated product. Let me run, I don't know what happened to Darish, but we'll run some of his thing. Go through let's see what Darish number 1 says. I see Darish number 1. Okay, so the next Darish, that's his, but he's not here. But see, Darish is with the HUD counseling office. Now, what the government has done is for these counseling offices, that's where you can go to get help. Go number 2. Who qualifies for these? Okay, here's the next. Go to the next one. People 62 years or more, paid off your mortgage or a considerable portion, you occupy the property as a primary resident, not be delinquent with federal debt, and participate in HUD-approved counseling. So you have to get one of these loans, you have to go to counseling. The counseling will charge you if you have money. If you have very little money or something, then they won't charge you for that. But even before you get to the counseling, before you do any of this stuff by investigating these reverse mortgages, because you're going to see more of this on television. Like the old, all the cable news people, that's what the old people watch. So you see the ads from that ex-senator who used to be on CSI or whatever, that he's promoting this thing, And I'm sure they're legitimate. Legal is something different than, I'm sure they're legal, they're following the law, but it's not a good consumer product. It's just like student loans. You have to be very careful. It's just like these for-profit universities that call you. Anybody's advertising on TV, I fall into that category, unfortunately. You have to be very careful of, because they have to make a lot of money to pay for that TV. So they're going to make a lot of money out of you. So the thing to do, if you're ever considering a reverse mortgage, do not call the company, okay? Because that's the last place you want to go. You almost want to be convinced that you want this, before you call the company. So how do you find information about all this stuff? Okay, go to number 24. We'll take a look at that. See, 24. Okay, now here's the hidden truths about these reverse mortgages. Okay, the elder might need care home. That means you have to nursing home. So if you have to go in a nursing home, before you die, man, you're SOL. Oh, they're after me now, and they know about it. Okay, no, that's a man. Somebody else. Okay. So, and that's going to screw up your life and screw it all up. Also, it can affect any dependent you have living in a home. So if you die, I mean, they're going to kick the people out of the home, maybe. You know, so you have to. It can go into default. You know, if you don't pay your taxes and things like that, then they take over your house. I mean, it's not, and you're not going to understand the fine print of all that nonsense. They're just going to have a good answer for everything question you have. They've heard it before, and they've practiced the best answer in the world to make sure that they look terrific, you know. And you'll never understand all the ifs, ands, or buts and complications of this thing. So the heirs may have to pay off the thing too, and also it's really a loan product. So they're lending you money. And that's more expensive than you could get anywhere else. You get other kind of loans a lot cheaper than this. You know, so why pay the expensive one just because it sounds nice? You know, because they got you. They got you because you called some sweet voice on the phone, you know, and you're not going to do the investigation because now this person's your friend and they're going to help you and make you feel that they could help you every step of the way. So you got to get armed. If you're thinking about one of these things, you have to get armed first. Okay, how do you find out? Okay, I mean, you can Google and get reports, but the real best place, put up 25, the Consumer Finance Protection Board. This is the new thing that's helping consumers with all these kinds of issues. They have a report. That's the report. You go to consumerfinance.gov, okay? This report is dynamite. It shows you exactly what's wrong with these things. And so you get that. You go through it. If you don't have, if you can't understand it, you know, then you call your local HUD office. Okay, well that's another slide. That's another group you go to. But the consumerfinance.gov. Okay, I'll show the other one slide. What's that? Number 26. Okay, responsiblelending.org. Okay, .gov. That means it's a government website. .org, that means a nonprofit. So that means they're not selling you stuff. You know, and you have to be careful. Sometimes .orgs are selling you stuff. But responsible lending, these are an overseer, a consumer office that has wonderful information about the downfalls of this product. And that's where you have to understand the implications. Are you ready to lose your home? You know, and how that will happen. You know, are you ready to, you know, to cut out your heirs of anything? Are there options if it's just because of money? Are there other ways to do this? You know, and have you investigated them all? See, those are the things. They're not going to tell you all that. They're selling you something. They're just going. They'll have an answer for anything and want you to come to them and you know, get your business because they're going to make a ton of dough off of you. I mean, a real ton of dough. That book from the consumerfinance.org, it'll show you. I mean, they're making like $10,000, $20,000 off you. So they're going to spend a lot of time, you know, whining and dining you to try to get you signed on that dotted line. You know, these other organizations, I'm telling you, that do the independent research about this product and will help you with that. And then how do you find help? You know, the HUD counseling, you dial 211. Okay, anywhere in the country, you could dial 211 and find out nonprofit organizations that will help you with your problem no matter what it is. So if you have a housing problem, you have this kind of a loan you're considering about, you could just call 211 and say, hey, I need some, you know, ask for HUD counseling. Because these are, you know, like Darish, who didn't show up, I mean, he gets a grant from the government to help you for free, you know, and they're HUD counseling. That's what it's all about, and that's what's cool about this stuff. So remember, just call 200. Don't call that 800 number you saw on TV. You want to call them first, you know, and that's important. Okay, now watch this video. Here's a video from, you know, Consumers Union. They're the Consumer Reports people, okay, real consumer oriented. Okay, watch this video, number 20.
Hi, my name is Norma Garcia, and I'm a senior attorney with Consumers Union, the nonprofit publisher of Consumer Reports. I'm here today to talk to you about reverse mortgages. Reverse mortgages is something that we've all heard of, especially recently, as there have been many ads on television and on the radio pitching reverse mortgages to seniors who may be needing additional funds or want to figure out how they can get more money out of their home. What a reverse mortgage does is, instead of you making a monthly payment to the lender, the reverse mortgage lender makes a payment to you. You actually get a check. And every payment that is made to you is taken out of the equity in your home. Reverse mortgages aren't for everyone, but they're being pitched to pretty much everyone. And we recommend that anyone considering a reverse mortgage, that they first seek independent counseling to determine if a reverse mortgage is right for you. The best way to do that is to contact a HUD-approved counseling agency in your area. You can call 800-569-4287, 800-569-4287, and that will connect you to HUD. You will have an opportunity to listen to a menu, click on the option that will get you to information about HUD-approved counselors who provide home equity conversion counseling. Give them a call today before you sign on the dotted line. It's really important that you consider all your options before signing up for reverse mortgage. A reverse mortgage can be a very expensive way to borrow money, but in some cases it can be the only option for people, and in that case it may make sense. But there's no way of knowing for sure until you've had someone look at your personal financial situation in light of all the options out there. For more information on reverse mortgages, go to www.defendyourdollars.org. Thank you.
Okay, now there's somebody really independent, right, who can tell you, I mean, there's obviously something wrong with these things, and somebody that's selling them is not going to tell you. Now you're wondering who the guy in the t-shirt is. Well, he's well, he's got something special with him right here. His name is Ryan Lane, and he just made $20,000 in 20 days for his invention. Put that up. Show him what this thing is. Yeah. And then, can you tell what that is? Well, look how small it is. You ever see these? I mean, I live in Washington, D.C., with all the yuppies around you, walking around. On their way to yoga, everybody and his brothers on their way to yoga. And they have these big, they look like, knapsacks or something they're carrying around, or duffel bags. They look like cowboys, and they're rolled back. Sort of. Yeah. This thing could fit almost anywhere, right?
That every time I see one of those people, I think, that's somebody who should have a yoga mat.
Right.
And while I'm not obviously trying to promote every time I think about that. Yeah, it fits in purses. It fits in bags, and that was the idea behind it.
It's a wonderful idea, and let me show you now. He was a lawyer, very successful lawyer. How many years were you lawyering?
I'm actually still.
Oh, still lawyer. Okay, so he's still lawyering. Okay.
I practiced for a little while, never independently, but I've been a lawyer since I guess 5 years ago.
Okay. Show 61. This is what changed his life.
Oh yeah.
This is.
That's me. That is me.
How long ago was this?
That was September 20th, 2008. So
September 20th. So 5 years ago, you broke your neck. How the hell do people live breaking their neck?
I'm one of the few that's lucky enough to not have to be in a chair. Again, I got lucky. Wow. I ended up having a fractured neck that got titanium plates and screws placed in there, and I was in recovery for about a year.
No, just leave that last one. Oh, yeah, that, okay. No, put his, not that one yet. Tony and I haven't worked before. He's very good, better than I am. That's the problem. She's thinking ahead of me. And I don't know where I am going yet. But, okay, go back to the first one on Ryan's first one there. That 60. That's his website on Kickstarter. You're still there. You're a lot more money. This is yesterday, last night, and you're like $500-600 more already.
Yeah. It's been amazingly successful so far.
Yeah.
This iteration.
Right.
I started the Kickstarter to fund the first round of production of the mats. The mats, there's minimum quantities whenever you make anything, even a custom product like this, and I ended up deciding that I wanted to see if I could get other friends who had expressed interest involved and find a way to collectively fund the project with individuals who wanted to participate in having one of the first ones.
So, I mean, people don't realize, Kickstarter is a place that you could go and you have an idea like this, right? Yeah. And you say, all you have to do is make one, right? You don't have to figure out the rest of it yet.
Yeah.
And then you go on Kickstarter, and it costs you really not much. I mean, if
Very
you boost a
little.
little bit of video, right?
Very little.
Put on there, see if anybody's going to find the sucker.
You don't
right?
even have to have a video, although you are a lot more
Yeah.
successful statistically if you do, because people want to know who they're dealing with and what they're buying. So, you know, if you have a way to be transparent with a video, it helps people. But aside from time and passion, there's very little initial investment that you have to make.
But I think what's really interesting, now we can put that slide in. Tony, that third one of his?
Oh, that one.
No,
I think that's you.
Yeah, right. That's your other thing. You forgot to wear. I have it on for you now. But what's interesting about your story to me was that you tried this a couple months back, right?
I did, and I wasn't successful.
Now, you're a smart guy, went to a lot of money, bought all the schools you went to.
You know, and I like reading books and figuring out how people have done things in the past. And you know, I knew a little bit about Kickstarter, but there are details that you need to know in order to be successful, even as a first-time, you know, venture into Kickstarter.
How long ago was that?
You know, it was it followed closely behind the coattails of this next campaign because I didn't want to quit.
No, how long ago was your first campaign?
The first campaign started close to the beginning of the year. It was,
I see.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't long ago.
a couple months ago.
Yeah. And
so what got you that point? I mean, what was the tipping point? You said, "Oh shit, I'm going to throw this." Yeah.
Well, you know, it's not cheap to fund the first round of a product, for example. And I knew that I
have to make the.
I knew I needed supplies, and I knew I needed to pay a manufacturer and everything. So, you know, I got to the point where I knew what I needed. I identified the individuals and the companies that had the materials I needed to put it together, and I realized, based upon a budget that I had sketched out, I knew how much I needed to raise, and I knew I didn't have, you know, $15,000 to $20,000 of my own pocket money. You know, I am an attorney with lots of student loans, so and a single dad. So you know, I decided this is a point where I could take a couple different directions. I could have shelved the whole thing, but
so you're sitting there with this idea,
and
and you knew it costed $20,000 to get it off the ground.
Yeah, and it keeps me awake every night that I think, here's this great idea. I see everybody walking around with these ginormous heavy mats on their shoulders, and I think, with all the people that do yoga, I mean, it's like carrying around five or six, you know, different milk cartons at once. And why do that when I had this great idea? I patented it first of all, so you know, I did a little bit of protection.
So you're a lawyer.
Well, although I hired someone to do that. A good lawyer
knows when he's not good.
A good lawyer has a fool for a client if he represents himself.
Right.
But you know, I knew that I needed help, and I decided that rather than wait another 2 or 3 years to save that money, I wanted to talk to people everyone I showed this thing to loved it. And so I decided, you know, the whole concept of Kickstarter, as it was explained to me the first time, is, hey, I want to throw a big party, and I want to have the best DJ on the East Coast show up. How can I do that? I'm going to ask all my friends for $50. So, you know, you get 100 of your friends with $50, and you can pay for
like a rent party.
Yeah. Everybody contributes, and I thought, if I can do that, and I can show people with a video and with, you know, different great aspects of the product, how well, you know, it will change things for them. Why not try? So, yeah. And
so you went out and tried and fell on your face, right?
Not on my head exactly, you know, the broken neck thing. But no, I failed. I over-anticipated with very little media publicity how I needed to get the word out. And I also...
Let's show that slide again. He sent me a list of, I asked him, you know, how could he identify or list the things that you learned from that failure? Because I think we all fail. That's the important thing about failing. So what you were saying to me is that you had to lower your goal. I mean, you had you were trying to do too much or something like that.
Yeah. So the first time I decided I wanted to try to raise $36,000, which, if you take a look at Kickstarter as a medium, it's a pretty high goal that's set comparatively to some other projects. And so I decided I wanted to have 2 colors available, and I wanted to have T-shirts, and I wanted to have USB drives with videos, and I wanted to have straps, all this other crap. Yeah, you know, and hire the, you know, most amazing yoga instructor in the world. I'm kidding. But anyway, it was too ambitious.
Yeah.
And I think that for a full-fledged company, that type of ambition is certainly a strong possibility. But nobody knew who I was.
Yeah.
Nobody knew exactly what this
you
thing
weren't
was.
around to do it all. So that,
No, and
so you learn that for the next time.
it
right?
was way too complicated, and I learned that for the next time.
And then you said something about the reward line.
Kickstarter, yeah.
Now there's a reward, so like if you buy something, there's like levels. You know, if you pay $100, you get, you know, to wash your windows or something like that.
You can put anything you want on there. I've offered to go for a run with people, or go to yoga practice, or even feed their kids. Yeah, no, you know, you can put anything you want on there. But at the end of the day, if it's not clear to people, why the hell would you throw money at it, right? And so I had written these big, long paragraphs of all the stuff
You pull to you.
Yeah. And I realized no one has time to read through that stuff. So the next time I made them a lot more succinct and a lot shorter.
And this made those things sell better, the upgrade stuff.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is the simpler I wrote it and the clearer I was so that people could understand it, the more people have backed it and have donated it. And the less information I present, the more they're able to focus on what exactly I'm putting forth, which is the product. No extraneous stuff.
Okay, and don't please everyone. I guess maybe that's sort of like
can't.
Yeah.
You know, you can't. And there's always going to be people who have better ideas than you, but if you have a great one, try to please the people who are your core audience.
Yeah, just that. So keep it focused.
Yeah.
Build on word of mouth. So that's the key.
You got to come talk to people.
Yeah. And don't sell it for why can't I just put it up there? And
yeah.
People throw me money.
You know what? The product's great, but I've realized that unless people trust me, they're not going to trust the product. So talking to people, you know, talking to people at your gym, talking to your neighbors, everybody that you want and you think could actually use this. Try not to be irritating, obviously. Right. Then you're going to turn people off. But you have to talk to people, and the opportunities to talk to people obviously come up like this one. We're having this conversation because
Well, everything leads to something else. That's why when I was selling a lot, I mean, I do media anywhere. You to people on the street or a dog show. That wouldn't be worthwhile. But that would lead to something else. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because somebody would see me on that or whatever. So you never know. So, and particularly if it doesn't cost you anything, so you have nothing to lose.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, one thing before I forget, I wanted to add, and I hope you don't mind me doing a little bit of promotion, but 5% of all the money that I raise from this is going to go to an organization called Next Step Fitness. We've already identified a goal that we'd like to create something. We're going to put together a yoga video, an assisted yoga video for individuals who are paralyzed or individuals who want to help individuals who are paralyzed practice yoga. Because believe it or not, it also is a modality that a lot of people can heal from. And obviously, as having broken my neck before, I'm passionate about helping individuals who have spinal cord injuries.
Was this only with vets or for anyone with
No, not just for vets, although I'm really excited that this will be something I can help provide to vets as well. But the video itself we're going to do through Next Step Fitness. And I mean, across the board, beyond the video, 5% of all my company's earnings after this takes place and during Kickstarter this year will go to Next Step Fitness.
Wonderful. And so you can still buy this now.
Yes.
Come back here. Oh, wait. Yeah, you still buy this now when he talks about it. So you can go to Kickstarter.com and just put in Yogo Max.
Yeah.
Yogo Max.
YOGOMAT.
And what's the base price again? What's it?
I think 45 is what it is. It's actually really market competitive.
Right.
I feel like I'm on Saturday Night Live when Alec Baldwin leans in and he goes, "My cookies." I feel like I have to lean in every time I talk. But yes, it's still available on Kickstarter. And
yeah, it looks like, but you passed your goal already. I mean, you must be really. Somebody was in the gutter just a couple months ago.
You know what? Failure is so funny because it as long as you take a different look at failure, it's always a learning opportunity. And I knew I failed as soon as that campaign ended, and obviously it goes to 0 time. And you haven't reached your goal. Clearly you failed, but I thought, you know what? There's no way that if I did this again, I couldn't get the people who had already backed it, and I wouldn't be able to. So I lowered the goal from 36,000 to 16,000. Got rid of everything else and said, I'm just going to have the mat. One color, just the mat. I'll let my backers decide. They've already started voting, so I already have a little bit secret info about what color it'll be. But I've also set another goal, incremental, and if we can raise 25 grand, we're gonna have a second color. And so I'm putting it in my backers' hands, and you guys have kicked butt, and I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
See, he came dressed for the occasion. See, dressed for yoga.
I would do yoga on the floor, but we really can't show it here.
Yeah. Can you spread it out?
Oh yeah. So one of the great things about it, obviously, it's small.
Right. Yeah, I see. Well, he's like a pitch man on home shopping with me.
QVC, give me a call. This is the mat, and it's literally a full size mat. See. But these straps are reversible, and you can hang. Oh look, we're on a wider screen.
Oh, I see. Oh, wonderful.
You can actually wash it in the shower. And I don't know
if you watch this thing in the shower, and I saw you just hanging up.
I don't know if you practice yoga, Matthew, but one of the things about big mats when you roll them up is they get stinky.
They would stink?
Yeah, mats get moldy and nasty when you try to wash them. And so there was a couple of different things that I designed this for. What's that?
Like my running socks.
Yeah, exactly, like running socks.
Oh, wonderful. Well, let's get Shane on the line. Dominique came here. She's here. Dominique Broadway. So hold on. She's going to be here too. But we'll get Shane. And hi, Shane. Do you hear me yet?
Can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Matt. You can hear me.
Wonderful. So what's the weather like in Texas? Nobody wants to know, but I'm curious too.
It's like 85 or so.
Ah, well, that's almost here. We're like almost 70. Yeah. So today you're going to tell us how to start a nonprofit organization where we don't have to hire a lawyer, right? There's a lawyer sitting next to me, so I don't want to say this loudly. So that you don't have to hire a lawyer to fill out the 501(c) forms to become a nonprofit with the IRS. Is that right?
Not at all. In fact, lawyers look at that topic forces that they charge about $1,000.
Is that what it is? About $1,000 mostly? But if you find a good yoga lawyer, I bet he'll be happy.
Well, maybe so.
Karmic prices.
Right. Yeah. So how do you do that? I mean, it's intimidating though, isn't it?
It is at first. When you download the form, it's called IRS 623. That's the form number.
IRS, what is that? IRS what?
1023.
1023. So that's IRS form 1023 if you want to become a nonprofit organization, right?
Right. You have to fill that out.
Okay. And then I see, because you sent me a copy of all this, and actually if people write me, I'll send them what you sent me. And there's instructions to fill out every bloody line, right?
Right, yeah. There's just instructions, details about how to answer all the questions, yeah.
Uh-huh. And so every line you have to fill out. I mean, the IRS, like said, I mean, to me, it's sort of like, what's the worst that could happen if you screw up?
Well, the worst that can happen is that there is an application fee, and if the IRS does not accept the form, you don't get your fee back.
Oh, you don't get it back. But can you change it? I mean, won't they call you and say, hey, this is screwed up because?
Well, yeah. So, I have several instances that were kind of like that. And I ended up having to call my congressman's office, and then he helped walk us through all of it.
Ah.
And it happened pretty quickly.
So you filled out a form, you screwed it up, and they said no. And so you called your congressman, and he beat on the IRS and got it through for you.
He did, yeah.
Wow!
That's a good terrible cause.
Yeah, it must have been election year.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's terrific. So that's what I mean. Actually, to me, it is sort of like, it can't. You said something very nice to me. Was you said they're not complicated. They're just long, right?
Right. Yeah. And really, the nice of it. Probably about close to 60 or 70% of it you won't even touch.
Ah. So half of it you don't even fill out, huh?
Correct, yeah.
And you said you've done about 20 of these already?
I have.
And you started with but you start the first one, you were just a virgin and jumped in and did it and kept going, right?
Right, yeah, and I learned a lot of that process.
Uh-huh.
So with that, we've got a formula down.
Mm-hmm.
Where the last time I did it 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Huh. So and you said now So the two things. So the worst case is what is the finance? What is the fee? $100 or 75 or?
If you might make it more than $10,000 a year, it's $850.
Oh, it's 850 fee. Oh, they can't.
Right, yeah.
They can't keep that on you if you screw it up.
Yeah, that's obnoxious.
Well, that's why you get Congress involved.
Ah,
That's worth a phone call.
right. That's worth a couple of calls there. Ah, I see. Oh God, well that's double if a lawyer screws up then, right?
Well, yeah.
How long does it take that to go through, by the way?
Right.
Go ahead.
How long does it take to have that process from when you submit it until when it gets returned successfully or gets rejected? How long?
Well, okay, so the actual writing application part, they take about an hour and a half right now. But now, once you submit it, it takes, the least amount of time is 2 weeks to get it back, and the most amount of time would be a month whenever it got rejected in Congress.
Okay, so 2 weeks is the shortest time you've gotten it turned around. Wow.
So I think the average is probably 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks is normal.
It's a little bit prohibitive, though, if you think about it, Matthew, because secretaries of states will turn around your application for a business license in like a day.
Right. Yeah. But
Or online.
That's like a fill out the form.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they also have a lot of states. Don't you have to fill out like to be a nonprofit in that state too? Is there another form at the state level?
Yeah, so before you turn in the 1023 form, there's a article of incorporation you have to file with the state, which is usually anywhere from 20 dollars. And those are refundable.
Oh, they are refundable, huh?
Yeah.
So this is at the state level is refundable, but the federal level is not. Huh?
Correct.
Wow, those feds, man, they're in debt. That's right. Actually, we're going to cover some debt orders. So how about help? Now, actually, you know what I thought when you said you were going to cover this? I have some slides here. What I was thinking, go to, what number we have here? 72. Okay, thank you. Hey, come on over, Dominique. This is Dominique Broadway. Please stay here. Yeah, she can sit over here. And Dominique, she's an interesting lady, let me tell you. I mean, she was a vice president of a vending machine company at the age of 13. Now, wow. Yeah, at 13, I didn't even know what girls were yet. Then she was a CEO of a computer learning company that taught kids about computers, right? And I was at 15. I mean, this lady's been helping folks since 13 years old, and who knows what she was doing before that. Yeah. And then after graduating from college, you worked for a brokerage firm, right? And then you chucked it all and decided to start your own thing, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
That was like 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
And you're a financial planner now by yourself.
I am, and doing more personal financial coaching.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
personal financial coaching. I have a video I want to show you. So how cute she looks on the air, man. I thought she was a model at first. I didn't know. You got that video there, Monique? I got two of them, but one, the first one. Let's do it.
Hi, this is Dominique Broadway, financial advisor and personal finance coach. I've always wanted to be a financial planner. I was always super intrigued by money, trying to understand how it worked, the most efficient ways to earn it, and most importantly, how to keep it. I've been in the financial services industry for 6 years. I've worked at major financial institutions, and now I'm taking those skills that I've learned and applying them to individuals, young professionals, budding entrepreneurs, and showing them how to turn their dreams to reality. I do this by creating a step-by-step action plan and showing individuals the ways to reach their goals. Be sure to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for money-saving tips and new blog posts weekly. I'm very excited to go on this financial journey with you. See you around.
Great.
It's always weird seeing yourself on camera.
What I find I used to do, I start laughing at myself when I feel so embarrassed.
You don't know how long it took me to actually record that.
But I mean, first of all, you had to cut your cord, right?
Yeah.
From this, it looked like you were doing very well with these people.
Yeah.
You know, and so you had to cut the cord and jump out. You had no idea. And my sense is, from reading about you, is that you rely on social media Frisco?
Yeah, I do. I think that's the easiest way to kind of reach the masses, as they
Yeah.
say. So I think in I guess in the financial services industry, people in the industry don't necessarily take advantage of social media.
Yeah.
That's obviously
Because mostly old people
exactly
in the business.
So
that's
what
why.
we're trying to do, what my purpose is to change that whole view. You know, so a lot of people are very intimidated by people in financial services, and like they're older and they wear these fancy suits and they just don't relate and they're not exciting and fun. So that's what I try to be. So it's working so far, and people feel, you know, excited about it. That's also why we started the Happy Hour series, Finances Demystified. And we take cocktails and combine them with personal finance. So
cocktails and finance.
Yeah. So that's been a big hit. So
not afraid of finance.
Exactly.
Yeah, not afraid. Loosen them up a little.
You'll be surprised what financial conversations come out after a few.
And so I mean, that's my sense of. I mean, I think, you know, I'm biased. I'm age sexism or whatever you call it is. But that, I mean, I saw like you came up with the 10 best financial apps.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
I don't use apps that much because I got a Droid or something. But people your age are more app oriented, aren't they, for everything? I mean, I have my parking and a few different things that my kid tells me to have.
Exactly. But that was a big hit too. So every time I meet with like new potential clients, I'm like, oh, do you have this app? I'm like, yeah, I have all the apps that we recommended, like Mint.com, Page Once, Credit Sesame, Credit Karma. They do free credit monitoring all the time. I always make people cancel whatever credit monitoring services they're paying for, but you can have it for free. You can have the credit score in the palm of your hand all the times. So I think having those apps, I think that, you know, when it comes to budgeting and, you know, trying to stay on top of their money, you can have that information.
Encourage people to go out and screw the boss and go do your own thing. You know? So how tell them how, you know, was it you were really afraid, or was work more like jail and, you know, that's scary to stay there?
I didn't think it is actually. I'm also on the board of DC Entrepreneurs, so we do a lot of help with entrepreneurs. So I think in my position, being at work would have killed me. So I had to go. It was to the point where I hated going to work, like literally hated it. I couldn't get there on time, so I was getting in trouble for that. Because it was like literally, even though I would wake up 2 hours early, and I still couldn't get there. So it was like, and then when I would leave, I was just like so sad. I was like, oh, I hate my life. So I said, I have to figure out what I'm going to do.
But don't you think so many people just keep that because
they do
BMW they got?
Yeah, they do, and hey, that was me. I have a BMW. So I was like, how am I going to pay for this Beamer? And I have a mortgage and blah blah blah. But I just felt like life is short, and I feel like, you know, when
I'm pretty tall though.
But lifespan. But I just feel like you have to do what you want to do. So I was just so nervous that I was going to look back at, you know, 60 years old and say, oh, I wish I had done this. I wish I had done that, and I hadn't done it. So I was like, hey, I'll just do it. If I fail,
well, it seems like your kind of business, all you need is a customer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need an office. You don't even need a yoga mat.
I'm curious, who are those customers? Who's your demographic?
My ideal client is young professionals and entrepreneurs. So I love working with entrepreneurs.
Well, here's a young professional.
We should talk about
Yeah, because they're more exciting. And I worked with, I was actually speaking at Howard last week about the fine arts department, because they're all going to have untraditional positions, right? How do you manage your money when you have an untraditional position? And that's harder, you know, when you don't know where your next paycheck is.
Marketing, instead of putting an ad in somewhere, you're really using social media.
Oh, yeah, I am.
So
and
you
like
don't spend any advertising money, so to speak.
No, not at all. Like our first event for Finances Demystified, we basically sent the invitation out 4 days in advance. Got 65 people there.
Wow!
And that was all social media and email.
Meetup.
No, it wasn't even Meetup. I'm actually about to start a Meetup. But I haven't done it. Yeah, they do.
Wow.
So, it's interesting.
So it costs you no money to advertise. It costs you no money to have an office or any of that kind of stuff because you have your iPad. Right, just an internet connection is your overhead.
A little bit creepy.
You got rid of that boss. You work probably twice as hard. You ever work?
Oh yeah, I'm always working. I never stop working.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But it doesn't feel like work at all.
Yeah, that's what you're here for, right?
And I'm definitely not the richest person on the block either.
Well, it doesn't matter. But you're doing something. If you were the richest and going to jail every day.
Exactly.
Would you say there's more passion in what you're doing now?
It's 100% passion. But when I was like not making money, it was like, what am I doing? Because obviously there were months when I wasn't. You have to get revved up. That's
So
when
you
I thought
delivered
I was crazy.
pizzas for a while or something?
I had saved up for
Oh, you did, yeah.
I had saved up. I mean, I was making decent money with my working in brokerage. So I had money saved up, but it doesn't go forever. So,
Right. On the Beamer?
No, it's still outside. It's still
Maybe.
outside. But the thing was, honestly, when I was working, I kept my expenses so low. I mean, my expenses were so low, so that when I became an entrepreneur, it wasn't too much that I had to meet to save money. So I think that was what was important.
Well, Dominique Broadway, I got a few more things. We only got about 4 more minutes I got to get through. And one is financial. So let me get that. And why don't I have that? Let's see. Run the scary number stuff. See number 83, that little video.
Can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Matt. You can hear me?
Wonderful. So what's the weather like in Texas? Nobody wants to know, but I'm curious.
It's like 85 or so.
Ah, well, that's almost here. We're like almost 70, yeah. So today you're going to tell us how to start a nonprofit organization when we don't have to hire a lawyer, right? There's a lawyer sitting next to me, so I don't want to say this loudly. So that you don't have to hire a lawyer to fill out the 501(c)(3) forms to become a nonprofit with the IRS, is that right?
Not at all. In fact, lawyers once a nonprofit enforcement that they charge about $1,000.
Is that what it is? About $1,000 mostly? But if you find a good yoga lawyer, I bet it'll be half that.
Well, maybe so.
Karmic prices.
Right. Yeah. So how do you do that? I mean, it's intimidating though, isn't it?
It is at first. When you download the form, it's called IRS 623. That's the form number.
IRS, what is that? IRS what?
1023.
1023. So that's IRS form 1023 if you want to become a nonprofit organization, right?
Right. You have to fill that out.
Okay. And then I see, because you sent me a copy of all this, and actually if people write me, I'll send them what you sent me. And there's instructions to fill out every bloody line, right?
Right, yeah. There's just instructions detailed about how to answer all the questions, yeah.
Uh-huh. And so every line you have to fill out, I mean, the IRS said, I mean, to me, it's sort of like, what's the worst that could happen if you screw up?
Well, the worst that can happen is that there is an application fee, and the IRS does not accept the form, you don't get your fee back.
Oh, you don't get it back. But can you change it? I mean, won't they call you and say, hey, this is screwed up because?
Well, yeah, so, I have several instances that were kind of like that. And I ended up having to call my congressman's office, and then he helped walk us through all of it.
Ah.
And it happened pretty quickly.
So you fill out a form, you screwed it up, and they said no. And so you called your congressman, and he beat on the IRS and got it through for you.
He did, yeah.
Wow!
That's a good terrible causes.
Yeah, it must have been election year.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's terrific. So that's what I mean. I see. To me, it is sort of like, I mean, it can't. You said something very nice to me. Was you said they're not complicated. They're just long, right?
Right. Yeah. And really, the nice of it, probably about close to 60 or 70% of it you won't even touch.
Ah. So half of it you don't even fill out, huh?
Correct. Yeah.
And you said you've done about 20 of these already?
I have.
And you started with but you start, the first one, you were just a virgin and jumped in and did it and kept going, right?
Right, yeah, and I learned a lot with that process.
Uh-huh.
And so with that, we've got a kind of formula down where the last one I did for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Huh. So, and you said, now, so the two things. So the worst case is what is the fee? $100 or 75 or?
If you might make it more than $10,000 a year, it's $850.
Oh, it's $850 fee. Oh, they can't.
Right, yeah.
They can't keep that on you if you screw it up.
Yeah, that's obnoxious.
Well, that's why you get congressman involved.
Ah.
That's worth a phone call.
Right, that's worth a couple of calls there. Ah, I see. Oh God, well that's double if a lawyer screws up then, right?
Well, yeah.
How long does it take that to go through, by the way?
What?
How long?
Go ahead.
how long does it take to have that process from when you submit it until when it gets returned successfully or gets rejected? How long?
Okay, so the actual writing application part, they take about an hour and a half right now. But now, once you submit it, it takes, the least amount of time is 2 weeks to get it back, and the most amount of time would be whenever it got rejected in Congress.
Okay, so 2 weeks is the shortest time you've gotten it turned around. Wow.
Yeah, I think the average is probably 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks is normal.
It's a little bit prohibitive, though, if you think about it, Matthew, because secretaries of states will turn around your application for a business license in like a day.
Right. Yeah.
Or online.
That's like a fill out the form.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But they also have a lot of states. Don't you have to fill out like to be a nonprofit in that state too? Is there another form at the state level?
Yeah. So before you turn in the 1023 form, there's a article of incorporation you have to file with the state, which is usually anywhere from $20. And those are refundable.
Oh, they are refundable, huh?
Yeah.
So this is at the state level is refundable, but the federal level is not.
Correct.
Those feds, man, they're in debt. That's right. Actually, we're going to cover some debt orders. So how about help? Now, actually, you know what I thought when you said you were going to cover this? I have some slides here. What I was thinking, go to, what number we have here? 72. Because we had, if you go, you're watching the show now, you need help, free help, you know, and you can't get a hold of Shane, you know, filling out this form for free, that if you go to LescoFreeRadio.com, you know, we covered organizations that get grants and help, like your Small Business Development Center will help you, right, Shane?
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, you can take that form into your Small Business Development Center, and they'll help you think through that stuff, right, for free. Yeah. Or the other thing, like every state has a grants office. We have a listing of them on our website, Shane. Why don't you go to number, where is that? 71. Okay, go to lesco.com/videos. And you'll see we got about 200-300 videos, and the first one right in the middle is the state's grants office, and that's probably a good place. These are, I don't know what Texas has. We all have offices that help people who want to get grants of some kind or contracts, and they know the organizations, you know, that would help, you know, other nonprofits that will help you fill out these kind of forms, you know, and things like that. And then what I did, I called 211, Shane. And I said, hey, I'm looking for free legal help as a nonprofit. And I was in Maryland, and this is the group I got, the Community Law Center. And they give free legal help for nonprofits, particularly community nonprofits. So that what you're doing now, I think, is for a community venture. Is that right, Shane?
It is,
Yeah.
And I wish those community law might help out quite a bit.
Right, and they help out individuals and nonprofits and stuff like that. So that was really. Then you know what I did? I said, "What's the Foundation Center have?" And I would show up. That's like, here's what I found. If you put in free legal help at the Foundation Center, foundationcenter.org, you'll get a list of organizations that help nonprofits for free with legal help. Our lawyer friend here is taking notes now.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of friends that are volunteer lawyers for the arts.
Yeah, volunteer arts. I see the Volunteer for the Arts. That's one of them. Volunteer Lawyers for our Lawyers Alliance in New York. I think a lot of it. This is for the Foundation Center in New York, but that's another one. See, the Foundation Center is somebody you know, that helps nonprofits do anything. This was an interesting one. Legal Corps. You know, and this is for nonprofit organizations making less than $750,000. You know, they can get free legal help. You know, for that. You know, we got it is amazing how that could stop people from, oh, you know, I got to pay a lawyer $1,000 to do something. And so that's it. Stop somebody from solving some kind of problem. You know, and that's why I see there's a way around those problems, aren't there? Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. So what's on your schedule now? What kind of stuff you working with?
From a nonprofit point of view?
Yeah.
We have, right now I have two nonprofits that I should their paperwork for. One is a school for Down syndrome and the other one is it's an equestrian for school.
Therapy, equestrian? What?
Yes,
For horses, for kids with disabilities or things like that?
right.
Yeah, horse therapy is very big, isn't it?
Yeah, I learned that how the horse walks, somebody up there who has maybe mobility issues,
Yeah.
that they use the muscles that will make you use your muscles that you usually use.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you, Shane. Thanks for being there. We got to get Dominique in here.
All right,
She came in, okay? Thank you. Okay. Now, let's put on 80. Okay. These are, okay, there's 99,000 people. Now, this your client should know about this. There's 99 people who will call up the government now and get $1,547 each. That's average. There's 153 million people, sitting there. Okay, let's run that little video here and show you where it's from.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I work for the Internal Revenue Service. So you finished filing your tax return, and now you're wondering when you'll get your refund. Well, more than 9 out of 10 refunds are issued in less than 21 days. So how can you track the status of your refund in the meantime? You can get to the Where's My Refund tool by using our mobile app called IRS To Go, or you can go to our website. You can start checking on the status of your return within 24 hours after we received it. This means information will generally be available within 24 hours after the IRS receives your e-filed return, or about 4 weeks after you mail a paper return. All you need to check on your return is a copy of your tax return. That way, you will have all the information you need, like your Social Security number, filing status, and the amount of the refund you're expecting. Something to keep in mind, the tool will give you messages about the 3 steps in the refund process. They are when your return is received, when your refund is approved, and when your refund has been sent. As for how often you need to check to see if you received a new message, the system is updated every 24 hours, usually overnight, so you only need to check once a day. Where's My Refund provides the most accurate and complete information we have, so there's no need to call unless the tool tells you to. Also, the Where's My Refund tool includes information for the most recent return filed in the current year and does not include information about amended returns. Issues that can slow down your refund include errors on a tax return and returns identified for additional IRS review. If we need more information to process your return, we'll notify you. Otherwise, you can usually expect to get your refund in less than 21 days. For more information, go to irs.gov/refunds.
Okay, now, those 99,000 people, this is not for refunds this year. This is for like the past 5, 6, 7 years. People where the IRS say, if you filled out a tax return last year or year before, you thought you owed them money and sent them money, but you screwed up. And they owed you money, they sent you a check, but your address changed, your address was a little wrong or something. So it just goes sits at the IRS, see? And see, there's $150 million sitting there. Old checks, not the new checks for today. See, so there's 99,000 people in the last few years that don't realize they have an old refund there. So all you have to do is call.
They're not going to call you.
Right. And find that. Now here's another thing that happened this week. I don't know about the budget. Everybody thinks, oh, everybody's talking about budget cuts. It's gone away. Or the White House announced the budget today or this week. And here I did a little graph. Okay, here's the budget. Okay, the first is 2012. See, it's 3.3 trillion or whatever. It's going up every bloody year. No matter how much they talk about cutting budget, I'm going to cut this, I'm going to do that, or whatever. Yeah, it's going up. It's just a matter of where and how much. So the people who get cut a little bit, they're going to scream their head off, and that's all you're here. So you're looking for money and help. Keep going, man. Don't let it stop you. And what we'll go out with, I have that lawless jerky. Actually, this is another guy, another lawyer, who gave up being a lawyer, and he was a sports attorney. I mean, that was pretty cool, right? Yes, yeah. And he sells jerky. Look at the video on him. And we'll see you next week. Can you run this video on the jerky lawyer?
Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm the creator of Lawless Jerky. The best beef jerky you've never had. Lawless jerky is not for weak, puny, or uninspired taste buds. It packs intense and complex flavor, and lots of it. Our original flavor wasn't a simple sweet, hot, or peppered jerky. It was Japanese curry, a salty, sweet, and umami flavor. And it's the only Japanese curry beef jerky in the world. Don't believe me? Don't have to. Google it. But Lawless Jerky's world of flavor doesn't stop in Asia. It starts there. We've got American barbecue, Hawaiian teriyaki, and Thai chili, plus honey chipotle and bacon salt and pepper. You could go anywhere with Lawless Jerky. The Wild West was a lawless place, home to big hopes, big dreams, and big risks. Like early pioneers, I went west seeking opportunity, but not on a gold rush. I went to law school and became an attorney, all in pursuit of a legal career that I thought would fulfill my dreams. But before long, it became clear to me that practicing law made me less happy. It was then that Lawless Jerky was born. Lawless Jerky is so deliciously addictive that it should be illegal. Come to think of it, it is illegal in all 50 states, but not because of its killer flavor. You can't buy it, and I can't sell it, because Lawless Jerky is not made in a USDA-approved facility. But this can change. Nay, this must change. Future backers, that's where you come in. The goal of this project is to raise $12,000 to produce an initial batch of Lawless Jerky's 6 flavors at a facility right here in California, US of A. I have found my true calling, one that allows me to be both creative and entrepreneurial, one that allows me to be happy. If you support my efforts to make Lawless Jerky, lawful jerky, your taste buds and yours truly will be forever grateful.